And actually, that's a little bit of my first question. You grew up in a small town. I grew up in a small town. Can you just talk a little bit about how that's really, formed you as a government, informed you as a governor, and how it would shape, you as a president?
Well, yeah, I grew up, it was a small town, 2,500 people, 2 stoplights. You couldn't think about doing something wrong without somebody telling your mom. But to me, I wish everybody could grow up that way because you really do see people for people. And you really do understand, what got me into politics was I was never that kid that was in college Republicans or anything like that. I was an accountant. I'm not a lawyer, I'm an accountant. And, after I left the corporate world, I came back home to our family business. And one day I was telling my mom how hard it was to make a dollar and how easy it was for government to take it. And my mom said, quit complaining about it, do something about it. I didn't know you weren't supposed to run against a 30-year incumbent in a primary. I truly didn't. Ignorance is bliss. And once I realized he was related to half the district, the only option was to win. So, we went around the district and said, hey, we've got way too many lawyers at the State House. I think they need a really good accountant. And that's how it was. But when you
They really need a good accountant in
That's
Washington,
exactly
D.C.
right. That's
My
exactly
goodness.
right.
Bring it.
But, I think that growing up like that and seeing people who work hard, in South Carolina, it was always about faith, family, and country. And we all grew, I know Iowans, we grew up like that. Your parents raised you to be responsible individuals. You went to school and you learned what it meant to be successful. And you went to church and you found your faith and your conscience. And that's what I want America to be again. That's what I want us to get back to because that's at the heart of who we are.
So, first female governor of South Carolina, and really, you jumped right in. You truly led a dramatic economic turnaround in the state. In fact, you earned the title as the Beast from the Southeast. Yes. And the best thing is Republican governors were so competitive, so she understands that, so she was setting the bar really high. Talk about your leadership in revitalizing South Carolina's economy and to the background, again, as an accountant that brings to the table. Talk a little bit about what you did and how you would take that same mindset to Washington, D.C.
Well, look, we are $32 trillion in debt. We're having to borrow money just to make our interest payments. China owns some of that debt. And I would love to tell you that Biden did that to us. But I've always spoken in hard truths. Our Republicans did that to us too. You go and you look at that $2.2 trillion COVID stimulus bill that they passed with no accountability, expanding welfare that's now left us with 90 million Americans on Medicaid, 42 million Americans on food stamps. And did Republicans try and make it right? Nope, they doubled down and opened up earmarks for the first time in 10 years, pushing through 7,000 of them in December. Want to know how they spent your money? $30 million on an honors college in Vermont, $10 million to tear down a hotel in Alaska, $7.5 million on horse racing in Arizona. And then the 2024 budget just came out. Republicans asked for $7.4 billion worth of earmarks, pet projects. Democrats asked for 2.8. Now you tell me who the big spenders are. So the accountant in me will tell you that what I did as governor was the first thing I did is I controlled what I could control. That's our agencies. That's what I would do as president. I replaced the head of every agency. I went in there. We pulled down, I sent teams into every agency to clean house, pull down regulations, pull down any bureaucracy, get rid of problem children. And then we started telling our agencies, if you're costing a person or a business time, you're costing them money, and that's no longer acceptable. That's what we need to do in D.C.